recommending...
You're recommending... I can't... Okay, wait a minute. Back up a second. You're recommending what? Say that again, Bob.
Silence.
Silence. Okay.
The more we ignore what's going on and function, then we're on the right track. I guess it was the show yesterday, where you announced the eminent domain takeover by China.
Right.
And you were in a panic mode, and saying, people were telling you people are going to go to the guns and bullets and all this. James, it's not going to. Oh yes, you were marveling with somebody, a caller or a friend, about how the Americans are so apathetic and not revolting in the streets. I explained that last week, that we're individualistic. We don't have group mind the way other pre-literate cultures or semi-literate cultures do, or post-literate cultures. And so actually the fact we're being polite and staying cool is a correct ecological response to the situation. Because there are going to be fringe groups that are going to panic. But the more we ignore what's going on and function, though this is filled with problems, then we're on the right track. So
we're on the right track. So wait, just a second.
I'm recommending... So you're agreeing with me. Then you shouldn't be surprised that nobody's rioting. The more we ignore what's going on and function, then we're on the right track. We talk about the coming of cold fusion at some point soon. And to hear you guys, it sounds like it's a done deal, referring to the date 8/1, August 28th. Should be August 26th, 08, and all that, which I'm not sure I understand anyway. That's on our website. Why not put it out right now today? We sure could use something big here. Well, isn't that like the comedian? People saying,
they want it now.
They want it in 10 seconds. Okay,
instant gratification.
And I'm saying it's coming a year and a half. That'll be like 10 seconds over the last 100,000 years. So wait for it a little bit, all right? I mean, we have to... Don't get me wrong here. I totally dig on Bob and endeavor to understand it. But let's face it. He's incomprehensible and quite nutty to the uninitiated. Well, that's why we're in this obscure network called Achieve Radio. It's like a chaos butterfly. Why bother talking to the majors of time? And that's why my team had to take over 2 years ago. We're bringing in this regardless of mortgage companies, credit companies. They're all gone anyways. All right? And it's really hard to adjust to that fact. You have to pay your debts. The more we ignore what's going on and function, then we're on the right track. Okay, he says, you see, people think he's talking about himself. He's talking about what should he do. So he says, some practical survival strategy advice would be good. Talking in the macro sense and to understand what's happening is good, but it doesn't address the immediate concerns. Should I sell my home now, even though I'm making a loss on it? Why? The dollars I get will be worthless anyway. I've been free clear. Revert to barbarians in pretty rapid fashion. Okay.
Wow, he's good. There's a lot there. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but it's all about himself surviving. The more we ignore what's going on and function, then we're on the right track. That is the individualist characteristic feature of Americans, yes. But we're telling you to get perception. That's the chemical body. The lucky ones who figure out what we're talking about, they'll survive. I'm not saying everybody's going to survive. There's going to be a lot of bodies, already a lot of bodies piled up at the morgue, So we're here. This is a panic. These are very good questions.
Those are legitimate questions, don't you think?
Exactly. That's why I'm reading it. This is an archetypal email. It's what I've been dealing with for years since I've been in all these different radio shows, TV shows. I mean, that's the ongoing question, Bob. I don't get it. What do I do? But it sounds like you're right. Back to this email. This email is very important. We should post this up on our website. It's gone. And that's a technical fact of the environment. I'm explaining why it's gone. If we all turned off the chip landscape, then it would be a different situation. So it's no mystery. Computers cause this situation. McLuhan used to quote Mr.
the Armageddon, I'm presuming you're saying that it will cause a complete panic from the old platforms and the dynastic wealth families that have been holding on to everything.
The more we ignore what's going on and function, then we're on the right track. I mean, Civil War. I mean, a Harvard economist announced last week that he predicted the Great Recession will continue. They won't call it the Great Depression. The Great Recession will continue and probably Civil War. This is a Harvard economist. You'd think those guys would be under wraps. You know, be more respectable and decent and diplomatic and not so panic the public.
Right.
I'm talking about chemical body Civil War. Now, if it happens, you'll hear about it on TV or through your chip body, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm recommending...
You're recommending... I can't... Okay, wait a minute. Back up a second. You're recommending what? Say that again, Bob.
Silence.
Silence. Okay. Good pattern interrupt there. Well done. Way to go.
The more we ignore what's going on and function, then we're on the right track. The way to be smart is to communicate within the silence, via silence, and anti-silence. That's what we're doing, James.
Communicating in the silence. Go ahead and explain. I already know people around. What?
Well,
Explain that.
Well, people go, what? When I say these kind of things. They go into the silence.
Right.
And they relax. And they say, that guy's a nut or something, but they're in there. We shut them up. And then eventually they listen to this 10 times, and then they realize, maybe I can say something. So they email us, and they complain about the silence we've offered, which is the impracticality of what we're suggesting, how could it be, and is he the richest man in the world, and all that. In the end, we're providing no content because we're swimming in the new form.
But you asked them to stop, to go into silence, and they did the opposite.
That's right. That's how you create a void. You know, people rush in. That's how you create activity. That's how you create group mind. Pretend it ain't there. People will rush in. They'll naturally want to fill it up. That's how our senses work. You enhance one sense, the other senses will fill in and readjust the ratios among the senses. So the more incomprehensible we are, James, the more people think they get what I'm talking about. The more we ignore what's going on and function, then we're on the right track.